What up, everybody? This is I Try Drawing, and this is part 3 on how to draw Sombra from Overwatch. In the first video, I did the outlining and the ink, and the second video, I did the base colors. If you haven't seen those two, then the links will be in the description below. In this video, I will be showing how to do the shading and the highlighting and maybe some finishing touches I might add. So to start, I select the layer I want to start coloring, and then I select the thumbnail while holding Command. It selects the outline of the whole layer. And then I change the hue and saturation by pressing Command U and changing the lightness to a -35. I use the color picker or the eyedropper tool, to select the color, and then I press cancel, just so that that new color I created is saved as the color I'm going to start painting with. I make a new layer above the jacket layer and call it shadow, or jacket shadow, however you want to do it. And I start painting with this soft brush. To help you start shading and figure out where to put the shadows, you can look at references or just figure out where you want the light to be coming from. So just as in the previous videos, I'm going to time lapse it just so it doesn't take super long, and I'll come back and I'll say a few things if I feel like it's important. I do want to point out that I select the areas before I start shading them just so that I stay in the lines and I stay in the area that I want shaded. And also, every time I start shading a new area, in this case I'm still only doing the jacket, so it's all in one layer, but if I start shading the face, then I put a new layer above the skin layer and I call it shadow, and I start shading in a new layer. Just in case I make a mistake, I still have the other shadings that are not mistakes, and I still have the base colors that I can always fall back on if I do make a mistake in the shading layers. In this part, I'm repeating the same steps. I change the hue and saturation, select the new color, press cancel, and start shading in the face when I put the new layer above the skin layer and call it shadow. I repeat that process for every part that I colored in with the base colors. So every layer that I made doing the base colors is getting a layer above it called shadow. So when I'm done with the shadows, I start making the highlights and the lighting. To do this, I make a copy of the layer that I'm going to start highlighting. So in this case, the jacket. Just in case I make a mistake, I can always just delete the layer and start again. I use the dodge tool, which is the little black tool to the left. It looks like the magnifying glass, but it's all black. The range I set to midtones and exposure to 20%. And I use a brush with a very light edge as well, and I just keep going through the different areas and adding highlights where I think they should be. And when that's all done, I do finishing touches, like I know she has some pink or purple in her hair and some blue on her arm. I use the soft brushes for that just to add like a gradient. And then I just do some finishing touches because I didn't want just her standing there doing anything. So I add some design elements also. So here she is, Sombra from Overwatch. If you enjoyed watching, please subscribe and comment down below. If you have any suggestions of future videos, you can leave that in the comments as well. This is I Try Drawing, and that was Sombra from Overwatch.